The Great Outdoors, presented by Camp Abbott Trading Company.
For nearly a century, folks in Wasco and Jefferson counties knew the Muddy Ranch for the sheep and cattle that were raised on it for the Prineville Land and Livestock Company. But in the 1980s, everything changed when a cult took over the property and embroiled the ranch and the nearby town of Antelope in 4 years of controversy. For this week's Great Outdoors, sponsored by Camp Abbott Trading Company in Sun River, Brian Jennings takes us to Wasco County, where that same ranch is now being used to inspire children.
For decades, it was known as the Big Muddy Ranch, near the tiny town of Antelope in Wasco County. In 1981, Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, an Indian mystic, purchased the ranch. The next 4 years would become one of Oregon's darker chapters in state history. Among other things, he advocated an open attitude towards sex. The Big Muddy was renamed Rajneeshpuram, and thousands of followers flocked there to be near their guru, who owned dozens of Rolls-Royce sedans. Much conflict developed. At one point, the Rajneesh bussed in hundreds of homeless and registered them as voters to control Wasco County seats. Today, the ranch is managed by Young Life International. Each summer, it opens its doors to thousands of junior and senior high students worldwide as part of a Christian fellowship mission. At the same time, ranch staffers are restoring the land.
Muddy Creek is a section of riparian area that's been overgrazed over the last 100 years with the sheep and cattle, and so it was in pretty bad shape. And so what we've done is we really focus on a lot of riparian restoration on the ranch. We do that through how we manage our cattle, as well as actually replanting hardwoods into the riparian area and beginning that work.
The lower 3 miles of Big Muddy Creek has become prime spawning grounds for salmon, steelhead, and native red-band trout as part of the John Day River system.
We want to put plantings in that to protect that section of creek. The roots go out and actually spread the water laterally, reconnecting the stream channel with the floodplains. And really it comes down to decreasing water temperature as well as increasing water storage. And water storage in the desert is huge, so we want to try and collect as much water through the winter and runoff to allow that water to release slowly through the summer. With summer run steelhead on the John Day, they rely on that cooler water and a place to come starting in July, August, September, when temperatures are still up over 100 degrees in this area. And so it's really important that we have those cooler water temperatures going into the John Day to support that group of fish.
Throughout the ranch, water conservation is the key.
Well, and historically, this ranch was managed in a very poor way that created a lot of bare ground and stripped these creeks of any vegetation. What we've done is 8 years ago when I got here, we had 7 pastures on the entire 64,000 acres. Now we have 45 pastures. The other thing we do around the ranch is we develop a lot of springs. So we'll take a small seat that may be able to hold maybe 20 cows or maybe 20 head of elk, and we put those into stock tanks. And so it creates this bulge of water, a 1,500-gallon reservoir that then elk and deer can get clean water, which in the desert, water's gold.
Water is everything. Out here, wildlife need water, livestock need water, and it's our home, so our families need water.
Now, with all the pastures and everything you're doing, wildlife has to be your best friend now.
Yeah. Wildlife can kind of become viewed as a nuisance, but we found that wildlife, what's good for wildlife is good for cattle, and what's good for cattle is good for wildlife, and they go hand in hand.
A remarkable turnaround from Rajneeshpuram to the present Young Life Ranch.
When people come out that know from the past and they come back and they're just so excited to see what's going on here and what we're doing and what impact we're having on kids and on the world.
Inspiring youth, restoring and conserving one of Oregon's most historic ranches in the great outdoors for a better tomorrow. I'm Brian Jennings at the Young Life Ranch near Antelope.
Thanks, Brian, for that report, and a special thanks to our Great Outdoors sponsor, Camp Abbott Trading Company in Sun River, for giving us the time and resources to explore the lakes, rivers, and mountains across our beautiful state every Wednesday night on Central Oregon Daily. We'll be right back.